The city of Springdale is looking into a plan to become a sports hub in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, let's go live to 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi for more on the work being done here. Glad to see that you chunked the umbrella. Maybe it's not raining on you this morning, Jacob.
Yeah, good morning, Joe. Good morning, Tiffany. No rain right now, thankfully, as we were in this clear patch. But no, so sports tourism is a growing industry, right? I'm sure parents at home, you know what it's like to have to travel a long distance for your child's tournament or game, probably spending money on hotels, on food, on gas, and other communities. But the city of Springdale is wondering, what if they came here instead? What if they came to the Randall Tyson Recreational Complex for their tennis courts or for their soccer fields? What if they came here right here to JB Hunt where we're live and came to the 6 softball fields that are here? How would that impact the community? How would that have an economic impact while also boosting the recreational sports leagues in the city of Springdale? So this is how it all got started. So about 8 months ago in February, the city of Springdale, the city council members, they weighed and ultimately decided to move forward with a study on what Springdale could become as a sports tourism destination. The master plan that was presented to the council puts a major focus on upgrading Springdale's major network of existing outdoor facilities, like right here at JB Hunt Park, rather than building new ones up from the ground. Council members also looked at what it would mean to add a 119,000 square foot indoor sports complex that's big enough for 8 basketball courts, 16 volleyball courts, 24 pickleball courts, and an entertainment center. The study says that if both of the outdoor upgrades and the new indoor facility move forward, Springdale could see an economic impact of more than $35 million in its first year, and that number growing to over $40 million by year 5. Much of that impact would come from thousands of visitors traveling into the city and again spending money at local restaurants, shops, as well as hotels.
This is not a checkers move. This is more of a chess move into not only helping build our recreational leagues, but also helping build relationships in our community, while at the same time it has a large economic impact on the city of Springdale as well. So this is a multifaceted situation, and it brings a lot of solutions.
And look, the city of Springdale says, we know people go to Fayetteville. They have the university over in Rogers. They have this entertainment with the amp there. What is it that Springdale does well? What is it that the city of Springdale has that can set us apart, that attracts people to our city while also having an economic impact? And again, they're going to be weighing whether or not to move forward with this master plan in later meetings, deciding whether or not this is something that they want to spend the money on. But for now, we're live in Springdale, covering news where you live. Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
All right, thanks so much for that update this morning, Jacob. In other news, a federal court has issued an injunction against state canvassing requirements in Arkansas. Now, back in April, a League of Women Voters of Arkansas filed a lawsuit against Attorney General Tim Griffin, claiming that the requirements violate the First and 14th Amendments. Some of the rules part of the law are there on your screen. If any of those rules were broken, the state could have rejected the entire petition. But they were all deemed unconstitutional Wednesday by the Western District of Arkansas Court. Voters in Bella Vista have extended a 1% sales tax that is set to fund a number of public safety projects and pay off some existing debt.
5 News reporter Lauren Spencer has how the city says these projects will also set them up for future growth.
These 6 measures got a lot of support in Bella Vista. Mayor John Flynn says they all won by over 70%. He says these improvements projects will be tangible for the public to see and help sustain the amount of development the city is set to have in the coming years. They'll use the money to complete the fire and city administration complex, build a new fire station, streets, and pay for upgrades for police. The mayor says the sales tax revenue was up 14% over the last year. They're one of the top 3 cities for increases in the state, and in 2026, they expect to bring in around $4.7 million. As for a city that was only established in 2007 and is now growing rapidly, they're prioritizing projects that serve the citizens.
So we've really built up the whole city in just the last few years as far as facilities. So I think the residents appreciate that, and particularly the police and fire, because there are services for them.
The mayor said this is also a way to meet the city's long-term needs without raising taxes. Instead, it'll broaden that tax burden to tourists and out-of-town visitors. which he says they'll start to see soon with more development coming in. Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
Well, today, an Arkansas man charged with capital murder is set to have a pretrial hearing in Sevier County. Wesley Davis is accused of severely beating a 2-year-old child who was found unresponsive and later died back in March. Davis has pleaded not guilty and he could face the death penalty. His jury trial is set to begin on December 17th, but the defense filed a motion this week asking for the trial to be continued.
Well, in Clarksville, the family of a missing 34-year-old man is pleading for help. They say Christopher Lawrence vanished back on November 8th on his way home from work. Investigators say his car was found abandoned with his wallet and phone inside. No sign of where he went. His parents say that Christopher was never the type to disappear or go long without checking in.
He always called his mom, and I'm a truck driver, so I'm in and out. Called his mom, told him what time he'd be home, and he'd be home. If he was going to stop for a minute someplace else, he would call her and let her know he's going to be 5 minutes late.
Well, the family says they're organizing a large search effort, which is this Saturday, hoping volunteers can help cover more ground.
Well, a teacher in the Lamar School District has resigned after an investigation into alleged contact with the student. In a statement, the district said it began looking into the use of social media as a source of contact between the teacher and a student. State agencies were alerted to the investigation, and the teacher resigned the next day. No other information was given by the district. We'll keep you updated on air and on our website at 5newsonline.com.
Well, President Trump has signed a bill into law requiring the Justice Department to release all files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The measure passed the House and Senate unanimously this week, clearing the way for public review of the documents. The law follows the president's push for a new investigation into Epstein's alleged ties with prominent Democrats. Now, some lawmakers worry that ongoing investigations could actually delay parts of the file being released. The Justice Department says it will comply with the law while ensuring victims' identities are protected and providing as much transparency as possible.
We will follow the law. The law passed both chambers, but we will continue to follow the law, again, while protecting victims, but also providing maximum transparency.
Well, now that the president has signed the bill, the Justice Department will have 30 days to release all of the Epstein files.
Well, today, former Vice President Dick Cheney will be laid to rest in Washington. We're taking a live look right now where that will happen.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful picture there. The invitation-only service will take place. That's the National Cathedral you were looking at. Now, Cheney, you remember, passed away earlier this month after battling pneumonia, as well as cardiac and vascular disease. He served 2 terms as vice president under George Bush. That was from 2001 to 2009. Now, among those attending the funeral today will be former vice presidents and former presidents. Now, our 5 News team here, we're going to stream Cheney's funeral live. That'll be this morning at 10 a.m. You can watch it on 5 News Plus.